we are going to plant some magic beans for your business. Magic beans that will help grow your business this spring. So stay tuned. Being in small business, maybe you have employees, maybe it's a me, myself, and I type deal. This is still a similar goal. So what we want in our business is growth. Yeah, we want some growth. In order to grow, we need customers. Yeah, we need customers. No brainer, right? Well, I'm going to divide customers into two categories here. We're going to divide it into customer acquisition and customer retention. So we have acquisition and we have retention. These are two parts of gaining customers or using the customers for growth in our business. Now, an important note here, I put it on the side. This is a statistic that is vitally important to know and understand. It costs, on average, 6 to 7 times more money to acquire a new customer than it does to keep an existing one. Again, 6 to 7 times more money to acquire a new customer than it does to keep an existing customer. Now, big businesses know that when they have their marketing budget, it is all of this. It's in customer acquisition and retention both. Where small businesses often miss the boat is they do a lot of this because that's what most people equate with marketing. They equate it with acquisition, right? Gaining customers, beautiful pictures, that kind of the fun stuff, right? Retention is something that big businesses also put in this budget that many smaller businesses miss. I am going to focus on the retention portion because probably you don't have a problem with this. This is an important part of business. Acquisition is continually getting new customers. Important part. Also an important part, as you know, because it costs so much more to acquire a new customer than it does to keep an existing one. If you're ignoring the retention part of your business, you're wasting so much money. Scads of money. Scads. That's a lot. So we are going to go down the growth with customers in the retention bucket here. In order to retain our customers, not gain new ones, but retain them, what retains our customers? What do they want basically? Customers want consistency. Okay? They want consistency in two areas. They want consistency, again, I've broken it down into product and service. They would like a consistent product experience, and they would also like a consistent customer service experience. Now, when I'm talking about product, you might be thinking, well, I have like a spa and that's a service. That goes here into this category when I speak about product. Product could be something that you create or something that you do. Okay, that goes here. This, baby, this is all you. You are here. You probably have training systems, recipes, onboarding, videos, SOPs, training manuals, that kind of thing to make sure that you deliver consistently great product to your customers so that whether you are acquiring or retaining customers, you're giving them a consistent product experience. This is probably something you already do. It's natural to you. And that's great. This is also probably the reason that you got into business in the first place. This is your passion. That's my guess. If we are ignoring this portion, we are ignoring a gigantic piece of the financial puzzle. Consistency in service experience. Let's say that I am a customer and I'm a customer that you're wanting to get for your growth, and you've spent a lot of money acquiring me as a new customer. I came in and I had the most amazing paella at your place. I love this paella, man. The product was great. And at the same time, I came in and I felt like $1,000,000. I mean, the hostess and my waiter, they paid attention to me. I felt special. I felt well cared for. I felt important. These are things that I feel, and I'm using that language specifically, feel. I felt important and I had a great service experience at your place. I had a great product experience with this phenomenal paella, and I had a great service experience. Big, expensive brands, they get this. If you've ever been into a high-end luxury company, they get this part of creating this in really important service experience that makes you feel like $1 million. If you haven't been in a company that does that, just go in. Just go into one of them. They get it. This is a part of small businesses that we miss. However, we could definitely copy it. And that's right where we're going to go. This is where I'm excited to plant some magic beans. So let's say you've acquired me because of this phenomenal paella. I had a great service experience. And now I want to bring in my boss. I want to set the stage, wine and dine my boss, because I am going to pitch a huge salary increase and a project for myself. And I'm going to use your space as a place for this. So I bring in my boss. I am now here in the retention part, and I'm bringing in with me my boss as a new customer to experience this stuff. If when we come in, we have this great paella, but we are ignored, there's a new wait staff, we feel ignored, we have to ask for stuff, we are not, they don't even refill our water, it's just not good, right? We felt ignored, it was awkward, my boss wasn't impressed, I lost the pitch. I wouldn't be coming back, and neither would I be bringing more people. Do you see how it's important that this service experience is a place that we really focus on? Product, yes, absolutely focus on that. But we have to focus on the service experience and providing a consistently great service experience in order to retain the customers we spent so much money acquiring in the first place. See how this works? This is where we're going to plant some magic beans. This is you. This is where I can help. Hey, welcome to the third, not the fourth, in our Magic Bean series. We're planting some magic beans right here in creating a consistently great customer service experience to retain those customers we spent so much money acquiring in order to grow our business. Woohoo, I did it in one breath. How about that? Well, we've gone through 2 so far. This is the third in our 4-part series about that. First one was knowing your value and having your employees, helping them understand and know their value. The second was about first impressions and how to make a consistently great first impression. The third in our series I am calling Congratulations, You Screwed Up. This one's actually fun. I like it a lot, honestly, because what it does is it just kind of cuts the tension out of the room. It's really identifying that big fat elephant that's right here in the room. People are going to mess up. That's just it in a nutshell. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off from the beginning. Teach your employees and train them that, you know what? You're gonna F up. You're gonna mess up. And here's how you fix the problem. A couple of things. Sometimes the staff will mess up and they get to fix their own. That's so fun. Even more fun is when a customer comes to you and they're super ticked off and you didn't even cause the problem, but yet you get to fix it. That's super fun too. Neither one of them are fun. The fun part is what you get to do after the initial uncomfortable part. So here's what I would suggest. Here's what we did. Step 1, you own up to it. And if you did the screw up, then you acknowledge and own up to it. And if you didn't do it, you own up to whatever it is that customer is feeling, like they're inconvenienced or whatnot. People want to have some empathy at this point. It's very difficult to not take things personally. And if you can, take a deep breath and try to get into your Zen mode. I've not mastered it, but we're all in a process and we can all keep trying. So first thing, you want to own it and acknowledge it and just rip off the Band-Aid. We screwed up. No finger pointing, no blame game, just own it. Own it. Oftentimes, simply owning it gets people off their guard. It gets people out of that attack mode. This happened to me one time, and I was on a chamber board, and I have to admit, I was really pretty dang good at writing things down and then delivering them on during the next meeting we had. And I also would write tasks down, and I would have it assigned and written out as a reminder for the people, and I would email them what they had agreed to do, because I hate unproductive meetings, especially when you come back and you just talk about stuff and then nothing gets done, and just death by committee, I guess. So anyway, I would write these things down with the deadline and who was responsible, including myself. And here we were at the chamber meeting, and I hadn't done my stuff. We were going around, got to me, and I was trying to think of all the excuses in the world. I mean, I was busy. I was a busy business owner. I had this boutique hotel. We were in wedding season. I did have a lot of reasons why I didn't do the thing that I said I was going to do. But when it was all said and done, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. And basically, I dropped the ball. When my turn came, I was all amped up and ready to say all of these excuses and all of these reasons why I didn't have my thing done. And I thought, no. And I just said, I don't even have a good excuse. I simply dropped the ball. And it was funny. You could almost hear a pin drop. People were so caught off guard. I actually had somebody say, wow, thanks. People don't usually admit that. Anyway, I just owned up to it. I owned it. That's step one. What I did next is I wanted to meet the expectations. And so I said when I was going to have that thing done. And in order to exceed the expectation, I wanted to go over, above, and beyond and do something extra for this project. Those are the same steps that we teach when we teach how to fix those mess ups, those F-ups. First, own it. Second, fix the problem by meeting the expectation of what should be done to fix it. And then the third thing, this is where it's fun. I honestly think this is such a fun thing to do, because most businesses don't take this third step. They do the first, the second, and then they're done. That's it. Own it, meet the expectation. That means fix the problem, and then exceed expectations. It's a blast, and it's so unexpected. Because remember my example, and I pretended like I was bringing my boss in for this phenomenal paella, and I had this great experience with your staff. And the first time I came in, when I brought my boss in to have the same experience, it was terrible, and we had a bad customer service experience here. If you wanted me to come back and retain me, and maybe even get me to come back with my boss or people I wanted to impress or people I wanted to refer, you would have to not only fix that problem, that crappy experience that I had, but you would want to exceed my expectations, because you want to take me from being a mopey, grouchy, gropey person to a raving fan, one that will say, oh my gosh, I had this experience at this place and it was terrible. They messed up, blah, 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 blah. You know what? People are going to do that anyway. They're going to tell other people about that crappy experience that they had. You don't want them to stop there. I did this, rah, 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 rah. And then, you know what they did? This is what they did. This is the fun part, because the person's going to say, they gave me an extra whatever, and then they did this. And then, you know what they did? This is where you exceed their expectations. They even did blah, 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 blah. Then what you've created right now by exceeding those expectations is you've created a fantastic circle of customer retention. And this person that is now one of your big fans is using their mouth as a mouthpiece, so you don't have to spend it in acquisition. They are becoming your raving fans. So when we are teaching our staff to create consistently great customer service experiences, we've got to teach them how to fix those mistakes they're going to make, or that someone else is going to make. It's really kind of fun. Number one, rip the Band-Aid off, admit it, suck it up, just admit you made the mistake or somebody made a mistake. Number two is meet their expectations. Number three is exceed their expectations. All right, enjoy. I will look forward to seeing you in the fourth and final video where we're planting some magic beans in one more spot. Oh, definitely go to the website. I'll put it in the notes below or right here in the bar somewhere, and sign up to receive the newsletter. You get cool stuff. It's not a newsletter full of a bunch of wasted time. Trust me. Just do it. You can always unsubscribe, but just do it because I don't want you to miss out. All right, have a great one. Thanks.